All right, we have Mr. Dale Elliott here. I never knew TV.
Well, go on, brother.
we give thanks, right?
Respect.
We're gonna get right into the thing. I want to talk about your upbringing, right? From what I understand, you grew up with your grandmother. Before we get into the reason, I just want to clarify: did your parents go abroad, or did they just live on another side of the island?
No, so my mother went to London when I was 5 years old, and my father went to the United States. My father lived in, let me see, my father left 99, and my mother left 01, I think. So yeah, my mother lived in England and my father lived in the USA.
All right, so Jamaican grandmothers can be very entertaining, right?
Yeah,
I mean, was it your mother's mother, your father's mother?
both of them.
You
So
split time?
yeah, so when me give trouble with one, them just send me go live with the other.
And where were they living?
So one used to live in Parental and one used to live in Harborview.
That's two different.
Parts of Jamaica.
No, I know, but I'm
part
just
of
saying
Kingston.
that's two different environments too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two different upbringing. So me end up with different personalities. So like my grandmother from Parental, she did kind of more
Uptown vibe.
no, relax, uptown.
Oh.
No man, I never live at that part of Parental.
All right.
But the grandmother from Harborview was more of the disciplinarian. That time my mother, she did more like, yo, do your homework, reach home early. And then my other grandmother was just like, yo, just live. And I could have come in late, I could have go up on the road, you know, the house did more festive. It was more of an extended family vibe where everybody kind of live with my cousins, her brother, uncles, like whole heap of living at the one house. But with my other grandmother, which is my mother, it was just her, my grandfather, and yeah, basically 3 or 4 of us in the house at a time.
Was it a church vibe over there?
Church?
Yeah.
No. Funny enough, my grandmother from Parental is more of a Christian than my other grandmother.
All right, cool then. So, growing up without the parents, right? What was the communication like?
With my parents,
Yeah, with your parents?
when I want money, I call them.
Yeah.
Is so really and truly, my father did more cool in terms of like, I call my father and ask him like, yo, send me money for buy your shoes, or you know, call my mother and say, yo, I need some credit for my phone. But communication with them did always alright. Like, I probably talk to my mother and my father probably once a week. Yeah, but at least once a week.
All right then. So, the reason I brought that up is because the character you played in Sprinter, the mother left.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a big thing in Jamaica in regards to parents leaving.
I think it's normal.
It is normal, right? It's normal, but the consequences aren't being acknowledged. I think it causes a lot of like pain in people, especially with the previous generation.
Yeah.
This generation is more vocal about it, but the previous generation never acknowledged like the issues that the distance caused.
The thing is, the distance cause issues. But with my generation, millennials, me get the technology side of things. So I could have seen my mother on a video call, you know. By them time I talk to my mother from Facebook. You know, she create my Facebook, my first Facebook account, and my mother make it. You know, my father, I could have called my father on the phone. As we're the generation before me, it probably was just a landline, you know, and barely hear from them. So there was a big difference. So it affect us, but it don't affect us to that level, or it have adverse effects on different type of people.
Has anyone spoken to you after seeing you play that part in that situation?
And like
fans and stuff in regards to saying like, man, they relate to it or they went through that experience also.
Oh yeah, a lot of Jamaicans have to deal with either their mother being away or their father being away, and some of the time both, because at the end of the day, them leave with the intention to make it better for us. So for instance, my mother and father, apparently the situation that they were in, it looked like they had to leave, because basically, like, I never had a year when I couldn't pay a school fee. When I look at it that way, there was never a time when, like, maybe them used to pay it late, you know, they missed the deadline, but there has never been a time when it's like, me don't have a shoes. Like, me used to go to school, and although nobody never did it for report there except for like my grandmother, you know, but when a party I go keep, me have on the nicest shoes. Like, you know, when barrel come, although at the time when everybody fall out in my house, barrel come and me always make sure say, oh, me get the nice underpants them, me ain't smell like the Irish Spring. So me, honestly, it never affect me to the point of where people think it would. But as something it probably used to affect me when me younger. But the older I get is the more I kind of accept the situation.
In what ways when you were younger do you think it impacted you?
There were things where other people get what me never get what me did want as a child. Where I would have, like as much as my mother and father take care of me, I would have trade them presents. I would have trade them money for them presents. For instance, like I never really used to like Mother's Day. Never really like Mother's Day, Father's Day. The most painful time in my life used to be like report day. Like parent teachers meeting. Because like me never have like a parent feel like. Everybody have their mother and them father and I say, yo, your mother gonna beat you, your father gonna beat you. Our man would be like, yo, I love my mother and them little thing that I say, me used to be like, yeah man, I love my mother too. But it's like the connection or the feeling where them have where them would be like, yo, me that jump in front of a bullet for them father, for them mother. I never really have that. Me did have that for my grandmother. Like me feel like me love my two grandmother them more than everything in our world. So honestly, yeah, them things that did affect me when me younger. Like, you know, music. Like when me younger, Sizzler. Sizzler used to have Thank You Mama. And like as the youth, me I listen to Thank You Mama, me I say, alright. Me I say, really and truly like a thank you grandma. Or Cartel. All of the mother sang them. Cause me listen to them. I acting, us run a Coronation Market. The vision of me for that when me I go market with my grandmother. Cartel, mama, like me don't really have me really don't have no connection with me family like that. But them, I don't think them personally like it. But me feel like me probably get to a stage now where, but me did understand at that. Me understand say like the move where they make did needed. Like my mother did see a way how to change our situation and see how it would have benefit me and my brother. And my father see a way how he could have changed the situation and benefit me and my sister.
And the reason I ask because I taught for years, right? And I'm aware how that kind of impacts people. And I'm glad to see you doing your thing. Because when the kids have those years without that connection or like that validation for the parent, they tend to go on other things that's more destructive.
I was going there. Yeah. I was definitely going there. Yeah. Because so when you look at my shirt, you say bad pitney. Like I was very rude. Very rude because I personally believe say maybe his attention me did a seek. Because like me only used to get certain emotion out of my mother when she tired. Like she say, yo, why you keep on get trouble? Because like me used to get trouble all it. And me remember like me have small memories of my mother. So because I went the time when she left. So me used to blame it. Like when people say, yo, why you so rude? And the thing there. I be like, oh yeah, cause my mother left me. Or yeah, cause me not have no parents. So me did start use it as like an excuse. So certain things never used to hurt me when me younger, you know. Like I suck your mother. What that do for me? You know what I mean? Like me used to swear upon my mother life whole heap, honestly. You never get me to swear upon my grandmother life before. Me I'd be like, yo, babe, I'm swear upon my mother. But the level of what people did think it affect me did deal with it fast, personally. But it did make me fight. It did make me want to go out and like get my own fast. Because my father, mother, which is my grandmother, when I grew up with most of my life, she was more of, because it was an extended family, and we did have different characters in the family, whether it be the person a gangster. My side of family they also suffer. Some people they suffer from like mental illness as well. And then the era with the Dana was like in terms of ghetto, it started to develop into a ghetto growing up in terms of the population are like crackheads. Like me grew up around like whole heap of crackhead. And you know, shootings will happen from time to time, but there were companies in the community where it's like you're not supposed to appare it. And I can say that my grandmother, she can do her best, but trying to manage 5-6 kids in the household, she couldn't do that effectively to the best of her abilities. Because the income never right, because all the way have mother and father, but not all the way like. If my auntie send money, it take care of all the way. If my father send money, it take care of all the way. So anything we have to share, and you are going to prioritize the girls them more than the boys them. So like when my cousins them, we can't afford for them go outside, them are going to breed. You have to shelter the daughter, you have to shelter the girl them. So like for me did allowed for go out the road and get trouble and come in late and like don't wear no slippers, fight. Not really allowed, but me did get away with it, you know. So and there were certain things where them couldn't do. No, my other grandmother don't have like a granddaughter. She only grew up boys.
You the only one at the house at the time, or is other people at the house with this grandmother?
So with the other grandmother, she did have my brother, which is my mother other son, my younger brother, and him did live with her, and my uncle. But she's more of a military and kind of military, fully. The videos I'm make, majority of it is about her. Yeah.
All right. You've been doing this social media content for over a decade now, right?
I think me I go like, me just reached 10 years.
Just 10
27,
years?
me just reached 10
All right,
years.
cool then. How did it start?
All right, so there was like a boom. There was like a Facebook boom when me in high school. And 11th grade, them invented an app called Vine. So me used to always watch the Vine them at night time. So me have an iPhone 4 and me used to watch like King Batch, and it's amazing. So me end up I work with them people I know, but me used to watch them, and at night time I say, yo, me can do this. And me did I go through whole heap with my grandmother, because at the time me moved from one grandmother to live with the next permanently, which was a big change for me. Cause like me used to can go out when I want, come in when I want. There was a lot of things I did allowed to get out with. But with that grandmother here, she did more like a straight to a drill sergeant. So every day when she used to talk to me and like trouble me and everything, I couldn't respond, because like the respect what I have for my grandparents, them alone could have physically like do something to me and me not respond. And to them, no. Only parent in my life, only people in my life who could have like disciplined me was my grandmother them. So it did put me in a situation where me can't raise my hand and she go box me down. And she go box me down and she go say stand up. And when me stand up, she go box me down again. So me used to her to the point where me I say, yo, me did always have a blank face. So she talk about me anyway, she do anything to me, and me just have to just pick it up. So I say, you know what? Because she leave the house every day like a certain time, because she used to own a bar. And when she not there at the house, me just used to just make the video them like mock her. I did just like my way of like dealing with the situation. Me just start mock her. And then the personality was already there, but she never know, because the whole personality me get it from the other side, with the bunch of different characters in the house. So she never even knew me that make video like that.
So far, how did she respond when she first saw the video?
So when she just start watch the video them, she used to tell me, say, yo, stop nice in our house. And I remember one time people a road start tell her say me a mock her, but she don't really use phone like that. And one morning I wake up and me did have an interview for I think TVJ invite me a Smile Jamaica or a CVM. One of them invite me a Smile Jamaica. And
because of the social media videos?
yeah.
All right, cool.
And them time I 18. invite me to Smile Jamaica and we wake up early in the morning and she say, yo, where I go? And I said, no man, me have a school. Only way me could have come out of the house. Me have to mention school. If I know school or sports, other than that, me can't go nowhere. Till I say, yo, me I got school. So the morning, me dip on Smile Jamaica, sit down. Me know my grandmother don't miss Smile Jamaica. So the first time she ever even realized that what me I do, did I work? Was she drinking tea and eating a crackers and I watch Smile Jamaica and then just see me pass Smile Jamaica. And while we pass Smile Jamaica, I pile for the camera and I say, yo, yeah man, should I watch this right now? And she start calling me. She call my phone, but I'm answering. I say, yes, grandma, yeah. So from that, she actually like, sister, yo, I believe in a way I do. But nobody never really have to like tell me to like stay in a school and them thing there. You see like how people used to like, after a while, yo, you after their schoolwork, report there. You see like after schoolwork never was like a problem to me after I go live with her. After I go live with her, I kind of just like, all right, yeah, I have to do it. So I just get it out of the way. So I did balance my social media with me like university perfect. It was never a problem for me.
And what were you doing in between the time of that time and getting a role at Sprinter? Like what were you doing for a living to generate money?
Oh, for a living, so honestly, so musical KC, I'm used to the track and field. The part of my life where change were like, there was like a switch. So you know them dancers man I talk about like dance? Me actually like dance. Me know them man I know I said dance for fun, you know. You know the parents them know why you feel bad when them say, Dale are not idiot. Him can do him work, he does not do it. I couldn't do it. But when me was 16 years old, me did in a motorcycle accident with my uncle, which is like my grandmother's son. That was the like father, brother figure we did have. The person we did look up to and want to be like. So we did crash off of the bike together and then him did dead. Yeah, so condolences. So when him drop out, that did hit me in a way where people not really understand, because it never hit me in a way where every day them see me a ball and them little thing there. But it hit me in a way where me know my grandmother as like somebody was strong. And like every night me used to hear my grandmother bawl for like 2 years straight. I mean I talk about like she a bawl and like she a scream him name like. So it did start like lick my brain mentally to the point where me I say, yo, me I go just turn in that person so she can feel better. So my mannerism them, me grow me here.
That's why you grew to here?
Yeah.
Right.
My mannerism, me grow me here. Me start the work at school. Me start excel more in sports. Me start watch him all video them and like say, yo, alright then maybe if me like turn another person, yeah, she will feel better.
You just took on his spirit at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my uncle did want to be an actor. He did a small role in a movie called Get Alive. And he was like he was a musician and he also did in a digital commercial. So him was like fully in entertainment. And like me and him did so close till like even the day when him dead, early in the day we did a talk and him would be like, yeah man, me I gotta do like that show here and this is what I want at my funeral and them little thing there. So it's like the connection that me and him did have, they different from anything because from Melikla, they just me and him.
So I was gonna say that then because it seemed like he felt that void from the parents.
Yeah.
So
him and my grandmother, him and my grandfather.
So when he passed, then that kinda the next void again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when him, cause him passed when me was 16, but him used to show me things. So for instance, my uncle showed me, said, listen to me, I know really the environment where you come from, is the people where you hang around. Because my uncle always managed to strategically use him personality for end up in like the best rooms with people for learn most things. Where me never really care about that. My uncle used to make it a point time. So listen to me I go par uptown. Me now par with a man where I waste time, but him keep the link them. Keep them. Cause you never know when you're gonna use them. But him did carry himself in such a way where people now fully respect him and a whole heap of people did love him. And my grandmother had no idea. Cause when he moved out of the house, him just come visit and just So him did start as teach me like who fi hang around, don't waste no time with nobody. Him used to support Arsenal. He's a big Arsenal supporter. So him teach me a lot.
So, but in between that time though, what were you doing
for work?
Yeah.
So, no man, me did young. So me did I go to school.
Oh, still in school.
Yeah, the moment me finish CXCs, me go straight me do 1 year at pre-university, and then me go college.
How did you get the call for
Sprinter? Me get the call for Sprinter. So remember, funny. Remember one day me I come from class and me I say, yo, you know me school a waste of time, you know. And me go back in my dorm room and me get a call and me I hear like Storm. Storm I say, oh yo, we are interested in casting you for a role. Are you interested in acting? And can you turn up to Cinicam Productions down the street from UA? So me drive go down the street and them I tell me about movie. Me I say, yo, me I open up zinc fence boardhouse gunshot thing. Me say that hope say I know something like that. When me reach, me don't know what kind of movie me I get casted for anything.
Hold on, fire 2 seconds. You got the casting based off of social media videos.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything prior to that?
No.
All right, good luck.
How Storm find me. So I used to tie my head with a green towel when I impersonate my mother. Yeah. And Storm was in Norway. And somebody was watching my videos on Instagram. And was laughing. So Storm said, yo, what you watch? And the person said, you don't know this youth. And Storm said, no. So Storm started scroll through my Instagram. And in my Instagram, Storm go down to a picture of me running. And then, but the fun fact about the picture of me running is I never wanted to do that shoot. Sometimes when you don't want something better, you do it. Because it was a guy, Kevin was a photographer and he was entering a competition. And I was going around this guy for about a month, every day. Yeah man, tomorrow. And then like, me never want to do it. And him turn up on the campus and he must say, yo, me dey down at the bowl. Me say, yo, the bowl lock. So me can't use the track. He must say, yo, just take some picture on the road. So me dey on the road, barefoot, no shirt, me vex, don't want to take the picture of them. And him send one. The picture never even look good. But me just say, yo, me have a pretty picture, me I post it on my Instagram. And at that picture there, Storm look on and say, yo, him run. Let me interview him.
You do your first rehearsal, which is actually acting, right? And I know you've been doing skits.
Yeah.
So how was that? Did you have to like talk to somebody prior? You just went up there and did your thing?
Rehearsal?
Yeah.
First, before the rehearsal, Storm tell me, say, listen to me. Storm said, tell me about yourself. Before me do anything, before me know what are the movie, before me know the role in the movie. Storm said, yo, tell me a bit about yourself. And he must say, yo, tell me about yourself. And I say, all right, my name Dale, I used to go KC, my mother live in England, my father live in America, and Storm said, stop. Me I do a movie right now about a boy and his father leave him and go, and his mother leave him and go America, and him the track and field. So me I say, okay, that close. Yeah. So Storm give me the script and tell me, say, yo, come back. Same give me the script like Monday, him say, come back like Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, me no read it. Thursday, on my way, me start read it. And then when me reach a Cinicum, me sit down and start study it. The moment them start, like, expect me for act, me don't know my lines. So, me I read with a lady named Natalie. come like a godsend, Miss Natalie. Auntie Natalie, we are read through. And I don't even think it was a case where we might get it, we might not get it, because we never act.
So why didn't you study? That's what I'm saying. Why didn't you look at it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Because when the script presented to me first, me at 19, me there at school, me not care. Me never, like, me just never business. Like, me never understand the severity or how much the role I could change my life. So, me just never prepare.
All right.
That could have been a missed opportunity.
All right. You get the role, they start recording, right? You link the David Allen Greer was in there, legendary.
Lorraine Toussaint,
Comedian,
David Allen
right?
Greer, Brashear Gray, Jamaican, Kadeem,
Yeah.
Chantal.
Who did you learn the most from in regards to the craft of acting?
So the craft of acting, I can say I learned from two people the most. And so the great Miss Leonie Forbes, she was like my acting coach. And she used to teach, while me I trained for the role, afternoons me used to go and Miss Leonie used to teach me. And Kadeem can be my brother in the movie. Him did make the environment so comfortable. And me and him and my uncle did close. So it just managed, something happened. So him did more like was really brother. For that whole year there, we did fully like brother. So him did make me comfortable. But Storm, in terms of acting, Storm tell me something when me see translate upon the film. And if I never Storm, the film wasn't so good. Storm teach me say, less is more. And me even use that outside of acting.
Explain what you mean by that.
So, in film, there is a difference between a drama actor and a film actor. A drama actor more, see, and them fight and them push them emotions and vocally. In film, your eyes can tell a lot. You can show your emotions upon your face without like physically trying to exert that through your eyes. So in film, it better you don't try act. Keep all the thoughts in your head and then try to relate the emotions naturally. That's why during Sprinter, on Instagram, everybody know me as the jolly, the jumpy. In Sprinter, I was more of a nervous, humble, relaxed, which personally I am not. But me just have to just keep it in my brain and relay the information to people through my eyes, through my thoughts, and a Storm get me for really settle down, relax, stop, try act, and it show up on the camera.
And when did you like have to try to like stay in character throughout the process, or did you struggle with that, or how did that work out?
Honestly, the time when I was doing Sprinter, I was extremely immature. I never understand the magnitude of what me I do. And me did young. And there were a lot of situations where me did uncomfortable, or I was like, yo, why me have to wear the pants here? Me not wear big pants. Them look at some small things where the professional side of things when me did need to forget. So probably the first like week and a half of shooting Sprinter, rough for me. Like me go home and I say, yo, you really want to do this? Cause you have to do exactly what the director tell you. You can't really have no insight. You have to trust for them vision. And then me with my little experience, my little when me feel like me know about camera and all me I use an iPhone, I say, oh, why you not film it from this? So why you can't do that? You're not supposed to do that. So I really Kadeem did have to sit me down and say, yo brother, relax, do what them tell you to do it right. And even though there were things in the film, or like for instance, the running aspect of things in Sprinter, I did a lot of work, you know. I did a lot of running. So like I had a double, but my double was more like a standing. I can look at Sprinter and I can tell you every time when is my double. Cause majority of the time I run on me. So it did rough. Me did really run 200 meters like 4 or 5 times. I run the corner 6, 7 times. The straight 8 times. And remember that directors and them thing there, if they never have a track and field background, they don't know what it is like to actually exert so much energy. So I remember the first day of shooting, we went to Stadium East. First day, me no know nothing. Me see them a treat me nice. Me I say, wow, yeah, this nice. The scene when me meet Bolt. That day, them ask me what size me wear. Tell them size 8.5. Now if you do track and field, you know that I ain't not expecting what size spikes. I tell them size shoes. Size spikes, me wear 10. So I got a size 8.5 spikes the day. And they must say, yo, you have to run a night. I say, yo, this is extremely tight. For running night. And they set the day, it was the first day, so a lot of things did rocky. Not a lot of water was there. Not a lot of electrolytes were there. So that was lack of knowledge on their part as well. And me remember when Storm said to me, Storm said, all right, there we're going to shoot. We want this be one take. Snap this out of the park. More you run as fast as you can. We need this shot. 200 meters may I run. The tight shoes, yeah. The shoes not go tight for one run. First, Storm said, go. He might have something to watch me. Like, I run with me. He's supposed to drive and follow me. When the man said, go, me give the man everything. Sprint. Run past all the camera. So, you know, me have to do it over again. Them have, when shooting things, you have time slots. What time to finish what, all them look at thing there. So, them I work with that time. Them now work with my recovery time.
So you got
So when you go so now and blaze at 200 meter,
go right back again.
There's no way you expect me to just go run a next one and then a next one. So that did mash me up, and it did make me feel like them never care about me. Cause me I say, yo, when you realize like me don't need like water, and then me start cramp up and like some liquor water bottle like this the day and me I say, yo, but I did the first day, and it's like everybody I feel out each other, everybody I try to understand what roles to play, and it was the only day we did have Usain Bolt for. So we didn't need to get that done. So me remember even when Bolt did have to leave the side of the stadium and come over for finish, and like the scene when we meet Bolt and everything, first time here I ever, you know, shoes are kill me. And him attack and him say, oh yeah, you see you're running 200 now. And the whole time people think at me, I can't even see him. Because my foot, I can't see nothing. That's so it is rough. First day of shooting and the worst day.
All right, the last thing I want to talk I know you spoke about sprinting a lot earlier. I know you're replaying stories, right? But the last thing I want to talk about, how you link up with Richard Jefferson.
So Richard Jefferson is friends of the producer, Mr. Rob Mailer. And I think they were like roommates in New York. And Mr. Richard came to the Miami Film Festival. And while we were there, that was the first introduction to him. And during Sprinter, I remember I was in college. So I used to come up in summers. And I used to like try find ways to make money or whatever. So I remember explaining to Rob, say, yo, me I going to my final year at university. And want to finish it. And at the time, I have like the sprinter work permit. So I say, yo, me need a job. And Rob reached out to Mr. Richard. And Mr. Richard have a yoga studio. So Mr. Richard said, listen to me, you can come to LA, best decision me ever make. You can come to LA, you can live with me, stay with me, him wife, him 2 kids, and we can work at the yoga studio up the stairs. No, this is something we never see before. So like, me never like, me I talk about like 4-story house overlooking California, overlooking the Pacific Ocean. That kind of like life there. Different, ride bicycle in the morning. Everybody feel like me a Bob Marley. Me I see NBA championship ring. Me I eat dinner with Luke Walton and I meet all kind of like in like a space where me no know. So as a youth, so me there around them, me just go work and come home back. And me used to play with the kids them. Me still up to this day, I'm my closest like relative outside of my family in America. And him, while when I go back to Jamaica, like I say, yo, me not think if I live in Florida. And I say, what me could I do? And me remember him and him wife say, listen to me, if you ever want to come back, you're always welcome. And when I finish my degree and finish school, after my graduation, I just tell him wife, say, yo, I don't want to go live in Florida. So when I move come to the States, me move go live with Mr. Richard. And him just literally treat me like family to this day.
Why you never get hype and leave school? Why did you stay in school?
You know my grandmother, you know. Me never want to leave school because university was a way of not living with my grandmother. Yeah, so I could have stayed on campus. And then school, I believe in a networking because my uncle always tell me that. The people where I around very important. And going to UA, I could have surrounded myself around doctors, future lawyers, athletes, people from, you have a whole different like avenue of people where you can work with. And then me's a hustler. So it's either me there, me I try to keep party, me I see how can I make money from these people. So living on campus give me a sense of me get for bit pan my own, manage my own money, receive money from still I receive money from my both parents. And it is needed. Like the 4 years living on campus at UA, yeah, it teach me how to be an adult.
And how was it socially? Because you have the you're doing the videos on social media, right? And now you're in the movie. So how was it socially?
Funny thing is, so I shoot Sprinter. Sprinter was my second year at university, and then it never released. Them did know me do it, never released. And where social media concerned, when we move out of my grandmother's house, social media did take like a backbench to school. Because at the end of the day, me is a product of my environment, so I make fun about what I see. So I don't really see. I never have the energy. But at school, I feel uncomfortable. I try to make video in front of people. So the video thing, they just get relegated to my car and backbench. But I still did have enough like followers as and thing for like I used to work with Flow. I used to work with Samsung. I work with KFC. So like I did still do enough things to remain relevant and making a 1-2 video when I drive. But social media wise, me was just one of the like the popular youth them in the school. But it never hard for balance. It is beneficial to me, honestly.
Most Jamaican actors traditionally now, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they got a comedy vibe, they tend to do plays. Jamaica's not a stand-up comedy culture.
Yeah.
Right? Why did you decide to do stand-up comedy? Like, where did the idea come from and the courage come from? Because you were in you played a role that was a serious role.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, people know you from social media also, but they don't necessarily know you as delivering jokes like that. They know you from skits.
Yeah.
So where did the idea come from to actually start comedy?
Because me grew up in a extended household, me did have my uncle, my grandmother's brother, mentally ill. Two of my grandmother's brother mentally ill. And one of them daughter mentally ill. It was a bunch of personalities, crackheads outside. So there's a lot going on in my household. Cussing, where me come from, they used to call me house the madhouse. So it was very festive. People in our community, we used to just sit down and we used to just laugh. So that was like how we deal with pain. So me remember like having like an audience forever. Sit down, everybody at and me just do something and I say something to make them laugh. Cause it's like you know when you don't know so you're poor. So all you do I just enjoyment. You sit down by your veranda, you see somebody pass, you make fun of them, somebody come up, you laugh, you mimic them. So I never afraid to do that. It did come natural to me. And where players are concerned, me used to watch them. So like me used to watch Wally like Bad Boy Trevor, Oliver, like me watch all of them, me watch play from now till the morning. It never ever occurred to me to go in and one play, honestly. Plays, me like them, but that not necessarily like something what me would I really want to do. May I be honest. Film, stand-up comedy is more of like comfort zone for me to share my pain. So other people deal with them pain in a different ways. Me laugh about my pain. So when me can be like, yo, me not a mother and father, but not have, but me never grew up with them, so it's an advantage. So can mother not do nothing for me. You know them way they like me meet my father and me realize, Jano, my father is a good man, kind man, one of the nicest man I ever meet, one of my closest friends ever. I wouldn't make him grow me though. You know, like I would not. My father is not the greatest parent, and knowing my mother long enough now, my mother miserable. So it's like me see, me can talk about it. Me get fun from my experiences.
Like, what was the process like putting together jokes initially? Like, how did you start structuring your jokes to present to the public?
I cannot give a joke about something women don't notice or women don't go through. So if I'm going to a new environment, the thrill of the new environment, find me enough things to talk about. I cannot give a joke about something I don't experience. So my jokes are stories. So I have stories to tell about the things that we go through. Whether it's when we get put out, whether it's when me lose, it have to be something when we experience. If we can relate. If me cannot relate to it, and then when you realize that these are the things where other people go through. So easier for bring it across to people. I mean, love stand-up. For years me I watch stand-up.
All right. You have stand-up. You have, when you're making a skit, you always have the ability to stop, redo, right? Pause, record, whatever.
Yeah.
Stand-up now when you're first up there. I spoke to numerous comedians. How is it when they give you that blank stare and you have to finish the joke? How's that experience been?
If me get a blank stare, me go to something else. Like me each time I get a laugh, me no wait for the laugh for dead. Because a lot of people do stand-up comedy different. I don't wait on the laugh to die. I try to go into something else. And then I save jokes that me know like guarantees. So if I get a blank stare, just go to a guarantee. But my advantage is that I develop a social presence before. Because now I've done 5 stand-up shows entirely in my career. I start the stand-up fully December 30th. I've sold out every single stand-up show I ever do. The 5 of them. All of them good. But the thing is, these are people that are expecting me. They know me to be funny already. Now, when it is difficult is when they are LA and they are like Laugh Factory. And these are not Jamaicans or Caribbean people. And I realize that all I have to do is deliver the jokes in this accent, make sure that they understand me, and just compare the environments. Because at the end of the day, crackheads are universally funny. Having a delinquent parent is universally funny because these are things that people go through. Having a mother that stressed about the bills, annoy you for no reason at all, these are universally funny things. So I only can relate my reality to people.
You know, it's funny, the influence and the culture on your comedy, because from what you're telling me, you do your comedy like a selector. If a tune not hitting it, cut. The reason I say that, I spoke to American comedians.
Yeah.
And when people not laughing, they still finish the joke. They don't cut to the next joke.
I'm mad.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
if
it's a
if
Jamaican
a song
thing.
now work,
cut. Yeah.
you cut.
No, it's so bad.
The funny thing, like, I have never hosted before. That is not something where I don't like hosting. I only like stand-up comedy. And being around comedians, I tend to realize that the personalities of us, a lot of comedians have trauma, but they just know how to deal with it and relate it a certain way. And hosting probably require you to be around people for a very long time. And their sides to me are like mood swings, or sometimes I just don't want to talk to people. So for me to escape that branding from people, I just short period. Go up on the stage, do what I need to do, cut. So you know you not get to see like the deal we get annoyed or because that's important. The person where them see at first, that are the person where them are gonna remember you for. So when I get angry, or if me in a bad mood, so my best time for the stand up. Because now me find like me can do something, I literally look at somebody and be like, yo, you're just big and fat. And everybody laugh. And if me say that off the stage, it's a total different situation. So I love that. Me can like walk on top of the fence and crash.
How is it when those days, like, you just don't want to be bothered, bro? Like, do you make them? Do you not make them? Like, how does that work? Because it's a lot of energy and a presentation you have to do to make the skit. So, like, how does that work?
Consistency. You have to do it when you don't want to do it. And all of the things that I ever do in my life, I've consistently been a funny person. So it's like the days when you don't want to do it, like that, it's like gym. You ever like don't want to go to the gym, but you just go to the gym same way. Even if you go there, you have to get it out of the way. And if me now see things, it's hard to give jokes. So even if me not feel motivated, me have to do it. Because at the end of the day, it's either one, you try to build something. How long you have I Never Knew TV? So from 2017 to now, because you're consistent, is the reason why the TV, this is probably one of the biggest, out of the Caribbean diaspora, this is one of the biggest YouTube channels. Exactly. So you have to consistently continue to do this. So me can't stop because one, me love it. It come natural to me. So if me not in the mood, that has something else we talk about. Me can go up there and say me not in the mood. Me can do a video but me not in the mood. So you have to just continue. You can't stop the way I do.
As a man who has worked and is working on himself, right?
Yeah.
When did you start to check your mental health?
I start check my mental health when me realize, say, like, things now, when things now work out, or when you expect something to happen at a certain time and it don't happen, and you see reactions, whether it make you feel defeated or it make you feel motivated. And then me I say, yo, it'll make you give up. Like how it make me feel, how my mentality affect people around me. So like if me feel away, it might make my girlfriend feel away. It might make my grandmother feel away. And if you feel like, yeah, me feel like me have a whole heap of people, I depend on me to remain sane. And then me see examples of what can happen when your mental health get completely depleted. So me have to just fully like lock in and focus and know, say, as man, we not nobody for really talk to like that, you know. We have to deal with things with self. And me as a man where work by myself. So me have certain priorities where me have to nurture and care. Me exercise a lot. It helps my mental health. Me fast at least once a month. Me take like drives. One of the most fun things for do in California is riding a bicycle on the beach. That clear my brain. Me stay out of situations where might put stress on me. Yeah, that's why I live in California. We can't deal with the Florida crowd. Can't deal with the New York crowd. I can visit them, but to live there and to be under stress, because mentally, when you're around people who have problems, they become your problems. Yeah, and me's a no person. Somebody asks me something, if me don't want to do it, me say no. Because for instance, if somebody asks you something, say a man say, yo, can me go to the airport? And then you go say, oh yeah man, me carry you 5 o'clock. You're lucky in yourself to that person at 5 o'clock. You don't know if that person is late, you late, and them vex with you, and you stress yourself. So me just be super honest with people. If me don't want to do it, me don't do it. Stay out of people way. It's either me stay by myself, me only surround myself with people where now go stress my mental health. So yo, if you're poor to a certain level, me can't heal you. You know, me can't help you. But you go put whole heap of stress on me, so I prefer go find people where me are the problem. Me go be the problem around some people. So it keep me sane, so me not take up nobody's stress on my head except for me immediate family.
But most progressive people I know on the one away, they're not too outside of their family or their wife and kid. They're not too entangled with people too much because it's too much. It's too much different energy, and as you said, it's too much problems. But how has that been?
Too much energy.
I know like Jamaica stay where you stay to yourself now. Like how has that been with relationships? Because you try to do what's best for yourself.
Honestly, I maintain good relationships with people, and I realize being around, I've seen a lot of successful people, and most successful people, them have one woman, them serious with them time, 5 o'clock at 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock at 10 o'clock. Them have a routine where them follow. And I have been fortunate enough to be around a multi-millionaire, and him exercise every day. Him have him wife, every morning him come in, him kiss her, him come home, them have special time for themselves, and me see how him grow. Me see the maturity with people. So it's like, for me, expose myself to certain elements when I nurture me for when me one day. If somebody have a problem with that, so be it, because at the end of the day, you will hear say, remember, Jamaica cancel your fast, you know. Jamaica, me call Jamaica will give you like a 2-week bus. And then will bust you with no talent. If you have too much sense, you win a bus. You will take too long. You have to sing about something where we're completely asinine when it makes no sense.
Why is that? Why do you think that? Why is that a part of the culture? What you're saying is very true. Why is that a part of the culture?
Because it's just so Jamaica stay like we are gonna find something to laugh about. Remember, I know the population of 3 million people. How much of the 3 million people below the poverty line? When you're there on a certain tax bracket or whatever, the first thing you want to do, poor people find something to laugh about, That we are going to do. So we are going to sit down and we are going to find something, we are going to entertain with. And we are going to always relate to somebody who is like we. So when you get something to laugh about, you are going to elevate a person there. So like, me as a comedian, I make a whole heap of people laugh, but I try my best for portray it in a way where you are going to respect me. You're not going to take me for an idiot every day. Like, you're going to see me, you're going to laugh, but you're going to respect my time, you're going to respect my price, or I'm not going to do it. I prefer to look at work, because I have a degree. Like, me not go, you have to build a standard for yourself. Because if you don't and you make them build a standard for you, you're doomed. So, as it relates to how Jamaican treat people, or how you allow yourself to be treated. Yeah. Look how artists get treated in comparison to comedians at Jamaica. A comedian at Jamaica, you're idiot. So them treat we. But my generation has changed that. Because my generation actually has shown say, yo, you can make money out of what you do. Influence is popular. Influence is good. But if the influence is not being monetized, yeah, waste your time. My generation figure out how to do that. So if you realize, apart from me, you have Travis, you have Dino Crazy, you have Valdemore, you have Major Hype, you have Prince Pine, Gallus in Paris. Like, we are all now, well, you have way more than women does talk, but we are all now monetizing what we're doing in a way where now you have to respect we. So Jamaicans are gonna always take to the fool and being comedy or whatever you do, which is nothing is wrong with that. It is up to the person where put themselves out in the world in that light now if you change it and they put some respect. You have to respect yourself first. So if you are gonna reach late all the time, if you can't do an interview properly, if you act like you reach and you reach nowhere, if you don't understand business, you are gonna fail. If you don't understand money, business, if you don't understand your brand is super important. If you don't understand that, you can't take every money, you can't work with everybody. You have to create a standard for yourself. And when the standard get created, the people are going to accept the standard where you create for yourself.
Jamaican entertainment industry has a cowboy culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a free-for-all vibe where professionalism is not the norm. I've been very impressed with the level of professionalism and promptness that you have. Where did you learn the importance of being professional when conducting business?
When I realized that it worked, and when I realized that if you're doing professional, you can be exploited. You can and you will be exploited. And you will not be respected. So when you're professional, you set a standard for yourself. And that is super important. Because in Jamaica, the worst thing is you want to align yourself with corporate brands. You cannot align yourself with corporate brands and then they're late. You turn up late, you know, carry yourself properly. But moving to California and seeing the people that do it, seeing the people that make money from it, there are things that I am like a sponge, so I am going to try to emulate that. So I am realizing that having a stylist, being on time, super important.
On time.
On time.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, so working, there are certain characteristics, like an artist. I don't think you can escape an artist being on time. I think they're probably going to most of the time be late. But I can promise you this, Assassin is not going to be late. Shaggy is not going to be late. Sean Paul is not going to be late. If you realize the caliber of artists,
All right, all the top performing people, artists, that is, not late.
They're
And
not.
like I eased off the reggae thing for numerous reasons. One, I don't want to get into it too deep, but a lot of people's perception of themselves and the ego way precedes what they're capable of doing, and people don't understand their place in the ecosystem.
Mhm.
You know, the names you have mentioned are
International people.
cosmic artists.
Yeah.
Right? And they're on time, extremely professional and respectful people. But then you have
And they're fun people.
and fun people. Then you have a next person that don't nobody know them outside of
Jamaica.
not even Jamaica, whatever town they in,
Kingston.
whatever corner they in. But they have such a, I think it's insecurity too, but the whole point is that they just kill their whole career. And a lot of times people wonder why, certain artists don't go anywhere. And when you interact with the artist and their team, and sometimes it's the team and not the
It's the
artist. I want to
team.
be clear, right?
the team.
Sometimes the artist,
It's not the artist.
the team. Then you clearly understand why nothing is ever manifested from this talent.
If, look at it that way, if you as an artist, or you as a personality, if you in a situation where everybody look up to you, who you look up to? If you take care of everybody around you, who take care of you? So you don't want to be around yes man. I know a lot of artists, and I can tell you that the management side of things in a like dancehall, it's extremely unprofessional. Some, but the man them young, them a grow. You gotta see the difference between the man them we are gonna learn, because the man them are gonna learn the game. It's the ones who refuse to learn are gonna remain unprofessional. Because what I realize is, if there's an artist, then we have 10 man we follow behind them, and then them delegate responsibilities to them 10 man there. That is the worst thing. Will those 10 man have your best interests at heart? That's a one. And how those 10 men talk about you to other people, that is going to be the image. So if you reach late and the person is like, yeah man, the boss say him need a champagne. If the champagne are there, the boss now forward. Them look at thing there. Like, who is the person's booking email? Like,
But hold on, I just want
simple things.
I want to talk about the yes man culture, right? What I've noticed is that male groupies exist across cultures, right? But
them worse than woman.
But the Jamaica male groupie far
Steroids.
And why is that? Far? Cause you've been on both sides. Remember?
I never been a groupie. But if it's one thing me can tell you, me don't know where it come from, but you have some man we just love follow back at one other man for like no reason.
And the thing I don't understand is that yes, you may get like a free lunch or not even clothes, but it's just like you yourself are like doing nothing. Like you just wait on this person hand and foot.
This
every
person is
day.
your whole life.
You get what I'm saying? It's like I'm talking about grown men fire 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old men still walking behind people.
Yeah, like the man them have like a cult. Me look at it as like a cult. Because like if me I go somewhere, say me I go somewhere, one, me not like a bagger man. You'll never see me around a bagger man. And recently, I've been, a lot of people, more people have noticed me now on the road. And one, me so used to being by myself. So when people like reach me heal them up on them thing there. But it get to a point where me I say, John, like, me I wonder if me safe. So, say me I go Miami, if me know like a brother, like a bodyguard or whatever, say me I go like a Jamaican party. when me know say alright then. Because the difference with a comedian and an artist, you know, a lot of these so-called artists at Jamaica, they will look down upon like a social media personality. When probably 7 times out of the 10, way more people know me than an average artist. But them not look upon it like that. I used to look upon it like, yo, me used to look upon it like, oh, me no want nobody come on the road with me because it's gonna look hype. Which me no want ever see like that. Me no want ever look like that. But if me have a virgin and me say, yo, alright, me need 1 security, me can pay you and we go to a party or whatever, me would do that. Me not have 1 million man. And me not go there on nobody we can hold them own. Because me not mind no man. Because me no frightened. So me not go out and like want buy a buckle. Me prefer buy 1 drink for myself. Because me is not a drinker like that. And me understand the value of money. And me understand so nobody now pay my rent. And me have my car note for pay. Yeah. Me listen to me. Me have a S-class. Me have to pay that payment there every month. Me live in a nice apartment. Me have pool, gym, jacuzzi. Me need to maintain that life. Yeah, me like look, me like watch. Me have Rolex, me have AP. Nobody now make me lose. When me have over hype, over pride. So the 10 million man thing now go work. Cause me now take care of 10 million man. And if me I go out with some people, I'm a real friend them. And them have them own. If we are gonna buy a buckle, we do it together. Nobody now mind nobody. So me will never operate like an artist. Cause me is not an artist. Me never even try music before. I just know my thing that. The artist operating thing is a Jamaican culture where them need 50 man behind them. I understand it for some of them because of the music, the background. Maybe them are some people in a beef or whatever. But the man them when they around them, me I tell you this straight up. If 20 man there around them, it costs them more than if I hire 2 big black bodyguard.
But there's one thing I want to add to what I learned is that, and I've seen this personally, is that more than other cultures that
we love our artists.
The badness kind of search for artists in a sense. So say because where you come from an area, you may be to yourself and don't have no connection with nobody. Mm-hmm. But once you bust, they just like hanging around like the gangsters themselves are groupies. Mm-hmm. And it turned into a problem because due to your association, they do something and your name came out. So
and your name get called, they're on a man.
Unless like, and it's very hard, I think, too, because insecurity play a role because you really wasn't getting attention before. Now people rate you. Now you start finding yourself around people you weren't before, and it turned into a problem. I know
you turn into a problem.
All right. I notice the strong ones stay to themselves and they stay out of problems. But when you mix and mingling with people, that's where the problems come.
Yeah, because honestly, there's no man who don't have an ego. You have to have an ego if you want successful. You have to believe in yourself. And you have to bet by yourself wholly. So, egos will clash. So some man ego bigger than some. And some man have ego for no reason at all. So some man want elevate themselves to the point where, yo, me are the man. Yeah, me can get all of them girls right. So me can have 10 man around me and 10 of them must have machine. But at the end of the day, that no do nothing. Like
it's not even sustainable.
That's one it not sustainable. And if I shot fire, all of them gone. All of them gone. No, them not really defend you. But some of them are the man them environment, you know. Me preaches every day. You see you're a product of your environment. But you have to come off of that shelf there. Like if you're rich, if you're an artist at Jamaica and you make a money, move go uptown. All if you have to pay rent, have some uptown friend. Make them tell you say you sell out. Cause them same one will come kill you. You can take care of them. You can visit. But you can't still a try live like the man them. Some of the time, what me I realize right now, you will see an artist and an entourage and even know the artist different from the entourage. You can't even see him as the artist. Him pants them body, him face bleach out, him look like him in the same clothes as the man them. Him even stand out. You say, yo, what for him purpose? Me can't do their life there. A life there just not for me.
It's a weird. The groupie thing, as I said, Black Americans have it. Don't get it twisted. Mm-hmm. But Jamaica take the title with this following behind people. Yeah,
my
general God and all these.
My brethren do the best impersonation of that. So my friend Valdo Moore, him call the Ski Mask character. That is the perfect depiction of how man follow back an artist. Because Valdo have a crew, you know, it's a crew of them. But none of them now follow behind each other. Because all them are friends. So when them do that, then them a give joke. But the follow back a man thing, that is a pandemic within itself at Jamaica. Yeah man, you have man at Jamaica who born for just follow back at somebody. And it's insane to me, like what you want for yourself? Like if me I go follow back at somebody, me I tell you from now, something him have, something there is knowledge what me can gain from being around that person, way bigger than the money we can offer me.
And last thing on this topic, I want to say in their defense though, we have to acknowledge the education level of some of these people, their rational ability and insecurity, because they really feel, no, serious thing, they feel fulfilled. Like I've seen situations where a man live in a zinc fence. He'll meet you at a session and he just feel like the biggest person in the world to be at the side of the stage or to stand next to you backstage. Mm-hmm. And there's no benefit to this man not doing that.
That a theme fulfillment. And it's a sad reality.
But that is the reality for many. It's just like they literally, it's like you will have a goal in life, right?
But whatever it's for artists. It's only for artists. It's only for artists.
And killers too, though.
Yeah. Both not have groupie. Yeah. Both have him friend them around him. Both are the perfect example of a man where when you make it,
just keep the circle small and keep it.
All of both friend them make it, you know. Me not see both with no like all of the man who both make it with them make it. But remember the artists them, no fight time the man around them. And them friend them where them grew up with. If me make it, me not like left me friend them. Can I look at it like that? But if me make it, me have to try get me friend them established in a way where all of we can at least look good or look presentable. All of Kevin Hart friend them good and put them in a good positions. There's examples with people from Jamaica where put them friends in a good positions. Now the thing is, the artists them have a bag of man around them were hungry. Him not teach them to be better. And some of the time them man they with their own some artists. And the artists them hold them down. And them not realize say all you have to do to make it is just step out from the artist their shadow. And you will go alright. Because enough of the man where you see a groupie, secretly them want to be artists.
But then you gotta factor in the grudgeful people too, for it's a weird environment, yeah.
That's well, music have a lot of up and down, and music Jamaica bust you and unbust you.
Because it's weird in the sense that you have so much red-eyed people in a circle, you know. It's just a toxic culture. And I'm glad for those who see it and move accordingly, put themselves in a good position. But too many careers have been destroyed because they got too much groupies around them. Yeah.
And ego.
I want to talk about a topic you have touched on your platform, right? Brain drain.
Yes.
It seems like
subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know me there, so sit down and know. Listen to me, people. I have a YouTube channel, Dale Elliott TV. Subscribe to it. This is my shirt, Bad Pitney, they're on my website. I'm going to say this from time to time.
And the link will be in the description.
And the link I got in my description, so subscribe. Try to get me to 100K, please. I'm almost there.
You touched on this topic. We spoke about it a lot too. Different people spoke about it. Like we had Dr. Knife on here, Muta Baruka, and other people.
I respect Muta Baruka from now till the morning.
It seems like there are no opportunities for Jamaican youth to make a livable wage or provide for themselves and their family. And I want to be clear. This does include people who graduate from school. I know we have an issue here in America. And I will say, I'm not saying that the college situation is that much better, but there are more opportunities, especially if you have a little ambition. The concern I have with Jamaica is that even if you have ambition and education, it seems to be minimal opportunities to just receive a livable wage, right? Why did you leave, before we get into the brain drain reasoning, why did you leave Jamaica?
The reason why I leave, after I finish university, I have a green card, and I evaluate my situation, and I say, all right, am I going to stay here and do what? Like, should you have a movie out and working at the bank? I don't, and then I want more for myself. I got a taste of California. Me never foreign-minded ever. But when you want more for yourself and you look and you see the opportunities limited. Now, you can be a big fish in a small pond. You know, all of people are going to say why I'm born that out. But yeah, you can be a big fish in a small pond. And that help your ego. And it make you have 10 million man behind you. But there's more things to life when we did want. Like, me want to have a Ferrari and a Lambo. And like, that's the level of life for me want. You know, Mark X, credit card can buy Mark X, you know. I don't want that. I want more for myself. I'm always want more. So, seeing wealth and realizing that $1 and 157 Jamaican dollar. That means I just have to come here and make the money, and when I go to Jamaica, I can live good. So, seeing the world, because I go to a heap of countries, you know. So, I go to South Africa before. I visit South Africa, I visit Spain, I visit England, I go Canada, I go Panama, I go Colombia, I go Brazil. So, seeing the world, I realize that, yo, there is so much I want to show and there's so much I want people to see that I did have to leave and go better for me, and go do better for myself. So, and if you realize, majority of the great people them did have to leave, did have a time when them like left Jamaica. You have to be seen internationally. And anybody can have a hit song where crossover and you end up internationally, but you still have to come to America, or you have to go in a big market for where it happens. I'm a big part environment. So if me I go do a movie acting, how much more acting can you do living in Jamaica? You probably, if you make the money here, you can go back there go live. But nobody can tell me say, oh yeah man, you're gonna stay at Jamaica and you're gonna be Denzel. Me not see that happen.
So like what's the future? Jamaica has always had a culture or a history of extreme brain drain.
Extreme.
Because any industry you go to in America, you probably see this already. For some Jamaica person and they're doing very well. Yeah. Right? All right. Everyone's always talking about the future of Jamaica, right? But how can we bank on the future of Jamaica when the brightest and most talented people are consistently leaving?
Because we consistently realize that why in everything you have to do hard work, but you have smart work. You're in a smaller market where extremely corrupt and it's hard for you to get the basics, the basic things. So like when me finish university, yeah, I could have get at work, but them probably would have want to pay me not even enough to survive. And in America, the big difference is the debt system here. So like schooling in Jamaica better than the schooling here, I believe, because a lot of the college educated people them here, them have debt. And some of them some of them now have no sense. And they end up with $85,000-$100,000 in debt. Now majority of Jamaican people, yeah, we might have a student loan, but the debt ceiling no like wicked like over here. And the Jamaica make it hard enough to get the basic sorts of living. Like banks in Jamaica now go try you out with a $500 credit card. Them not gonna give you that. Them not gonna give you that. Alright, I believe now you go and go do it. Bank of Jamaica now go say, alright then, let me give a youth here where you're 19 a chance if he can pay a car loan and develop himself. Jamaica now do that. Like paying rent. Like the culture is like you live with your parents forever. In America, you kind of have to go get your own as a rich. Nobody know you're in a man house too long, you must say, yo, brother. I don't like how you just sit down on my couch at daytime. Get up and go do something. Jamaica now have the get up and go do something mentality. Jamaica irie. Sit down, smoke a spliff. Yeah, man. And them day just go by. And when you realize, say, yo, you're 40. And time just fly. I ain't know nothing. So, me understand social media now. Me mind not. Them dep on them phone now and them are see foreign, you know. Like we used to hear about Dubai. Now you see Dubai by your iPhone every day. You see Miami. You see the girl them where you want. And you look around by your reality. And your reality now match where you dream about at night time. Where you see daytime. Your reality now match where the man them are sing about in a music nowadays. Cause dancehall music turning a rap music now. So understand when a man get a qualification, when you realize, when you start to get smarter, you start to say this system is rigged. America's system rigged too. But at least America will kill you with debt. Make you work forever. But you probably can't work forever, live in a nice house. You have a wife, you have pitney, you have health insurance, you will alright. But if you miss a paycheck, you're homeless. Jamaica can give you an opportunity if you own nothing. If you buy a car, you need all of the money. If you have a friend who work somewhere, you will never get a gun license. So them not give you the opportunity to protect your family from criminal elements. And Jamaica have some of the highest criminal rates. But a rocket science for own a gun. But are the easiest thing for buy a gun. So when you realize that the system there only set up for one set of people win, and that one set of people are gonna tell you say, when you leave Jamaica, are you lazy? Are you no want to work hard? But them not tell you say, oh, them auntie are the manager at Scotiabank, so that's why them get the work. Them not tell you say, yo, the politician job where them have, or the fact say the politician there was a generations of him family a politician. So links run Jamaica, and if you don't have no links, you will never have no money.
Yeah, that nepotism crazy down there in Jamaica, and just like, I don't know, Farah. It's just like America has all this problem. I'm not a defender of America.
Me not defend America.
What?
This is the thing. Me love Jamaica. Yeah. And me want own property at Jamaica. Me want do all of the things were good for Jamaica. And in order for me to do that, I have to not be there for a while. That is just the thing.
And I think people like that are not from Jamaica. They don't understand that like every aspect of the country is corrupt. They don't understand that, like in regards to here.
Every aspect, you know, we not like you say it nice.
No, I'm saying every aspect, like
every
the simplest
crease
of
and
things,
corner.
like getting a license, like everything takes extra money or a link.
Yeah, you have to buy a license in Jamaica. Take it, yo. I my grandmother carried me go get my TRN when me are 18. I have never seen my TRN. It just never come. Then just give me the number on a little piece of paper, and me use that for the 5 years of having a license in Jamaica. Me just never see a TRN. Didn't even know what one look like. Forget a national ID or rocket science. You have to buy your license. So my time I links to get you in a school. Like if you don't have links, you're doomed.
The what's the name wicked too, the visa. Because don't you have to pay for something, but you're not guaranteed to get the visa?
You have to pay for your visa. You have to naturally go, you pay, you're going to do your interview.
I don't know if it's the wrong thing I'm telling you.
Oh, you have people who probably try get like a bundle visa.
Yeah.
Or get it a fraudulent way. I'm not wrong them.
Or you gotta pay for the paperwork or something. I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have to pay. No man, you have to pay if you go do your visa interview. You have to pay US embassy.
To get the interview, right? But you necessarily don't get the visa.
No, you get an interview. And if you pass the interview, you get the visa. But if you fail the interview, you just lose your money.
That's what I'm saying. That's the part I'm saying that's screwed up. Yeah.
That's not screwed up. That's a natural policy everywhere in the world. You pay for go do the interview, but in a guarantee, say I get it, but it's extremely non-refundable. That's just America policy. That's not to do in Jamaica.
I want to talk about the YouTube channel on your podcast, right?
Yeah.
So love the vibes at Dale Elliott TV, right?
Yeah.
Buzz Ears Podcast. Please share all the hard work you had to put in to get your YouTube channel up and running, booking guests, and building an audience.
So my YouTube channel, so Dale Elliott TV, Buzz Ears Podcast, me are going to season 2 now, and me are going to do like a rebranding where me are going to just name it the Dale Elliott Show. And then have like the Buzz Ears segment. But the hardest thing to do is start it. Because you don't know nothing about editing, you don't know nothing about lighting, and then you don't know how people personality are gonna clash. You have to wonder like how you manage the person ego beside you. You have to be good with that. So the editing, the posting on time, topics to talk about, because I try to stay away from something where a trend but it not necessarily align with my brand. So me not try to talk about just anything. And you have to try differentiate yourself from other people, from other, like especially other podcasts. You want to have why me I watch Dale. And then me did find it as an opportunity for show people say, yo, you only have to see Dale for 1 minute every day on Instagram. You don't know Dale as a person. So now, I realize when people sit down and listen to me, they must say, oh, that you actually know how to reason, him know how to deliver, him know how to talk, him can talk by himself, and people will sit down and listen. And then I like that because that was something for me where used to make me get upset. Like, I used to feel like people only take me for an idiot. I mean, never used to like that, none at all. So, like, for instance, you remember there at university? First year me in university, every time I walk in our class, like the first day, people laugh. And then when them see me go up and I'm gonna do a presentation, it's like everybody want to in a Dale group. Because they're not afraid to go up and talk in front of the 300-400 people in the class. Like, Dale will do the presentation, Dale will go do the work, Dale will go do the research, Dale will take up the responsibility and be the group leader. So me always been a try for not box myself in a, yo, that brother you're funny, but you're gonna have to just respect me. So my podcast was the perfect situation where me can actually educate young people, and that it's so nice to me because now me can sit down and tell a man say, yo, although you're an illegal immigrant, you can go get a ITIN and pay taxes. You can open a bank account. These are the states you can go, and it will be better than if you go to another state. Now I can give platforms to the people that are not necessarily famous but the persons that are hardworking. So now a lot of people think like you have to be an artist to be known or big. But there are lawyers out here that are wealthy, doing well. They're Jamaican lawyers, they're Jamaican teachers. Like I have more fun interviewing a stockbroker or a person where in a field where me can educate people at the same time and not just music. I enjoy that. I enjoy learning other sides to people and I educate people at the same time. So that's why on my platform, me interview people who do insurance, me interview lawyers, me interview producers instead of artists, me interview regular people where I make strides in a different ways other than just the norm of like music.
What's your demographic like? Is it just Caribbean, Jamaican, Caribbean, broader Caribbean? Is it Black Americans? So, who's tuned into you?
So far, my demographic has managed to be men, like young men, some young women, but they are the stick. I'm at 27. I'm in at the stage in my life now where when you're in your 20s, when you're supposed to take the most risk and push yourself towards your actual goals. Because a woman in her 20s is like her hottest time in her life when she have like more fun. And a man in her 20s is when you kind of need to try figure out where you want so you can attack that in your 30s. So you can know have everything figured out, I do it in your 30s. You don't really want in a situation where you're lost, you don't know where you want, so you have to keep on go out there and look it. So like me talk to people like, yo, you come out far and you run off, go bust a marriage and sort out. Stop lazy.
All right, you spoke about the teachers, YouTube. I'm going to ask you the next thing I want to ask you about the YouTube in regards to
I'm basically just say, yo, I finally have a platform where not only can I get people to laugh and reason with me, but now I can teach somebody something. And that's the best feeling. A man can say, yo, me learn something with Dale, make me find out, you know. And that motivate, honestly, my YouTube motivate me more than my Instagram, especially just because I teach somebody something. Make me feel different.
When did the idea come from? Where did that whole thing come from? Say, I'm gonna use this platform to really educate people and share my experiences, share my information.
Because every time somebody see me, them laugh, and me I say, yo, there's other sides to me when I really want, like people know.
Show them the whole perspective.
Yeah, and then I always, me know say, yo, because me will sit down and me will think about certain things sometimes, and me will confuse and want to do better, and them look at thing there. I know so there's a lot of people out there who think the same. And then there's a lot of men out there where we look up to me, what me find weird, because me I say, yo, me want to do so much things, and me not do nothing yet. And if you look up to me, me I say, John, no, that means that when me I do good, I mean if you continue to do it, because me I change somebody's life. Like, no, me I get, man I message me, I say, yo, brother, you know, say, you make me finally go take the money and file for my son. Or yeah, man, cause me as a man, we talk from a podcast and I say, yo, oh yeah, wear Gucci shoes and your son still there in Jamaica. Because the immigration of a thing, Farm I-130 have $645. You keep on and tell your son so you go file for him or what you can't read and write for put in a paper there yourself. You need a lawyer to do that. Stop lying to your pitney. And people feel when me say that. Like the brain drain, one of my biggest videos was the brain drain. And it was because I did see a lot of people talk about people are runway lazy and them should stay at Jamaica, blah blah blah. And me have to break it down to them, say, yo, are the educated minority I leave Jamaica, you know. It's not the uneducated popularity, are the educated minority. So if the educated people are leaving more, there has to be something in the economy. There is some flaw where the government's not going to address because it benefits them. We can't have a country where nobody pays taxes. And a lot of people bash me for that. A lot of people have a problem with that. But me have sense. You can't escape taxes in America. You can't escape taxes in England. Why Jamaica have a case where them want to stop me from hustle? The government are fight against me. You have the uncat. Pay the damn tax for the uncat. And they may go say, yo, fight against ghetto people, blah, blah, blah. You have a wholesale, you have a shop in your yard. Pay the damn tax. Me not care when nobody say, how much bash me get.
That just go back to the cowboy culture, because even I had to learn, because, you know, I grew up in Jamaican culture. I had to learn to do the sound away when I say it. I had to learn to do things the proper way. Yeah, everything around the corner, everything behind doors and I just had to learn to do things the proper way.
You have to link, man. Something for simple. Like remember when my other grandmother lost my birth paper. And my mother want to get a new birth paper. The fact say we did have to find a man who work there and give him a thing so him can get me the birth paper.
Instead of just filling out the application.
Instead of just go find at the farm. Why? So in Jamaica we try find a way to go around everything. But the system make it a way where it's like you can't do it the right way. It doesn't make sense.
It creates criminals, to tell you the truth, you know.
It creates criminal. But the thing is, you can be in Jamaica and be good. But everybody reality different. So someone have to come out of that situation there to make themselves better. But you see the tax situation. Sometimes it's hard it's easy to blame the government, you know. But sometimes the people are the problem. And a lot of people like Rastaman blame the government wholly. Me have lax. A Rastaman blame the government wholly. As the first thing come out of a Rastaman mouth is like, yeah man, the system and this and that, and me have dreads, but me and a Rasta. Me also have dreads. If we live in a society where a lot of the people they don't want to work.
Let's put that out there from
me not care when
all right then.
A lot of the man them don't want to work. Them want to sit down and everything come to them. They don't want to pay no taxes.
Freeness culture.
Them don't have a license. You get your car, you want to run taxi. Why you don't just go get the red plate, buy your route? Them are going to say, yeah, it's hard to buy the route because, you know, them are going to tell me say me have to wait how much months or it's too expensive or whatever. But some of them don't even go that road. Some of them just buy the car, run it white plate, then them complain and say the police officer them give them a hard time, them take with them car when them car illegal. Then you have the man them where the taxi man them. So a taxi man revenue per day. We can do a simple maths. 5 people in the car, $500. One, you overweight the taxi already because it's supposed to be 3 at the back, 1 at the front. In Jamaica, a 4 at the back, 1 at the front. But it can be more than that. But me just have the regular. This is just one simple matter where I break down, you know. The regular taxi man. Him wake up 5 o'clock. Him run from half a tree to town. Him now move till him full. So when him left downtown, by him reach a crossroad, 2 person come out of that taxi there. And 2 new person come in. So that's a $700 him make. Then 1 person come off liquor up the road and 1 more person come in. He make $800. So say him make $800 trip. That's a $1,600 per trip back and front. Say him do 10 trip for the day. That's $16,000. how much trip you think can do from average to town every day? More than $16,000, right? So we have base it at 10. And you do that for 6 days of the week. You really do it for 7, you know. But Sunday is like your day, because some no for time taxi man I work for people. You make 16,000 one day. You times 16,000 by 6. Me not good in a maths, but me know say 16 and 16 are what? 32. And 32 and 32 are 64. And then 16 and 64, you add 10, 66, 80. You make $80,000. Sunday a your day. You make $80,000 a week. 8 fours. What that? 8 fours are 24. You make $240,000 a month a drive a taxi. And then you probably fully carry one time every day. So you take out I probably like about $8,000 full of tank right now. Some of them definitely do more than 10 trip. Yeah, tell me say the government not forget none of that. And you for make all of that and put it in your pocket. And you gonna tell me say the system will fight you. And I know you do more than 10. And then you gonna tell me say you gonna drive bad. You gonna run up and down people, you gonna lick down people, you gonna lick people car, you gonna overtake, you drive pan one way, you gonna overload the taxi, and when they get a ticket, you're not gonna pay it. And you gonna look and say the government will fight you. When a taxi man are the worst human being in a Jamaica.
Real quick, I don't want to stray the argument, right? Why do you think driving is so wild in Jamaica? Is it a culture thing? Is it a mental thing for right? Like, why is
the government not put no line in the road? No line in the road, them, and then so that can be the government fault. And then taxi man just want to reach where them are going now. So them drive like a feed them road. So the driving in a Jamaica, it now got change till police start fling ticket under them backside. Ticket left, right, or center. As you blink, you get a ticket. And that have to happen because the issue is there's no order. And the problem is me go somewhere where I have order and see it, but the issue is a Jamaican gonna look for me and probably say, yo, me feel like me better, me feel like me know, blah, 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 me not understand this and that. But me do understand. Me have logic and me have sense. And me say it's not the government alone. The government alone cannot do it. Because one of the best politicians in Jamaica used to be my lecturer. Damian Crawford. Them no want Damian Crawford run the country. Because him not go hire him links. And him not go be honest truth. Him not go give out a road contract to a man who don't know how to build a road. Like him not go say, oh, just because you are my friend, me I get that contract. Like Damian Crawford don't need Jamaica for rich, you know. He don't need to be a politician, you know. Because that man is one of the most intelligent man with me ever sit down and have a conversation with or ever hear speak. And politically, me not think Jamaica want to make him be the prime minister. Because there's a lot of things where him wouldn't really allow. But the people is a problem as well, not only the politician, but when you hear like a certain Rasta or whatever, them tackle the politics side of things and have zero accountability for the man them when do nothing.
It's just a toxic culture for it's just a toxic culture. That's what it come down to.
Now we're culture. Now we're condom. Yeah. Now take care of them pitney. But sit down and feel like everything must just like come to them, and then them say your fault. Me never blame a man for nothing happened to me yet, you know.
And I have concerns for Jamaica already, but my real concern is their dependence on tourism for their revenue, which is a tricky situation, but also their dependence on money coming from overseas. Because what's happening now is that as people experience inflation in America and job situations change,
it'll affect Jamaica.
I think that era that they had of, because we got to acknowledge the drugs money for the 80s, 90s that played a big role in sending money back, right?
Yeah.
But this era now, First of all, this generation more selfish. I don't think they're gonna send money back like previous generations. And I don't
That's true. Me and that generation there. Yeah, that is true.
And I don't think they make enough to. I don't think they have that cushion. But my big concern for Jamaica is their dependence on
Remittances.
But like the people that are here now can no longer send like previous because it's just too expensive here. Because depending on between your rent, if you don't have a mortgage, if you have a fixed rate mortgage, and just inflation on the whole.
Inflation over here, wicked.
We are like 50-60% depending on where you live. So
exactly.
You can no longer send money back to a family member. And they solely depend on this money coming for their livelihood. So what are they going to do?
Jamaica is the second, remittances is the second largest earner in Jamaica. You know? And me is a product of remittances. Yeah. And there is things where even me notice from my family why a lot of time I don't send money back home. Because somebody will believe that you should. There's a sense of entitlement from a lot of people living in Jamaica that you must work everything and then send it to them. And I was on the side. I have been on the sending and on the receiving side of things.
So you understand both sides.
So I understand both sides of things. When I was younger, like me living in America now, I can't believe say I just $50 my father used to send me. Because I say, if you make $50 in America, easy. So why it's so hard for you to send me $50 every week? And $50 every week would have been, I could have lived a good life. But you couldn't send me $50 every week. So I start look upon that. I said, John, no, that is a bad look upon like my father. Or my mother from England, because she did have pound. So I said, were you really struggling? Like when I come here, come live? I said, no, you just, I feel like there was some neglect based on parents' side. We're taking care of the family at Jamaica. But when we dip on the other side, I can't say I live in a house with a bunch of people. How much of them work? I never see them work yet. Or I will say to work. Or we grew up in a family where paying the basic bills has always been a problem. And some of the time is lack of finances, but enough time is negligence. Like, why the water lack off? Why the light lack off? Why you not just pay it on time? Why pay half and not all of it? Why you not prioritize that first? Why would I eat KFC when the light probably lack off tomorrow? When we could have buy efficient food for cook. So, me growing up in a situations like that make me have to pay my bills them on time, that first. Before me eat, me have to pay my bills. And then now me think about food. I have to think about my responsibility first. The only people in the world that I ever feel comfortable for beg was my mother and my father. Me never feel like nobody else have no obligation to me. And now my mother and father don't have no obligation to me. And right now, if me not have money, the only person who would have comfortable if I ask money is my father. But people of Jamaica find it too easy for beg. And the people in Jamaica who not beg, it's not because them not have it, but them are the better and them have some level of ambition. My grandmother can always ask me for money. Because my grandmother a big woman. But not saying if me have a bridging where I go through something and him and say, yo, give me a strength. But if me follow up on Instagram and me see I work every day, and you link me and you say, yo, beg your strength, come here, That's a different level of begging, That's not begging. What if every day you sit down and you smoke a spliff for your day a party and you drink a beer and that reach me. Me there, I have a bridging there Jamaica. Send them on $300. Come and tell me, oh, yo, youth and school and all kind of sitting. And me and the dog, him have WhatsApp, and I scroll through my WhatsApp story and me see dog at one party. Buckle pan table, beer money, I buy I buy $30,000 buckle and I just send him 3 bills. I sing, yeah man, I say, 100 million and nothing for me draw down. And I say, chop. Me, I say, wow. You chop me. And me a chop. Can you take my $300?
I think social media flopping out a lot of people in regards to the begging.
Cause now we are see it.
All right. That's a common story amongst people now, though.
Yeah, no, me I see where you take my
what
money.
you're saying and what you're asking for, even if you are faking on social media, you shouldn't be if you're calling people begging for
exactly.
money.
But me used to lie. Me chop my mother and father. Me did have the obligation. Me feel like I'm a mother, I'm a father. So me I go chop them. Like my biggest chop was like school fee. Me used to chop school fee from my mother and my father. Cause them don't talk. So my mother would have sent me my school fee. And I say, yo, daddy, me no hear mommy, me no know no deadline at tomorrow and all. No, mommy no send me a dollar, you know. 2 school fee that me have. Rest I put in my pocket. Yeah, but you can't blame because from me younger, from me little, my grandmother give me my phone and say, yo, tell your father say you're hungry and you eat nothing when my belly full. Or tell your father say you don't have no clothes when me have on a brand new suit of clothes. So, them a teach you. From a little, me know that already. Me know that style. You call your parents, call whoever they are foreign, tell them a sad story, and you get a money. The thing is, because me did dip on the side of making up the stories, telling the lies, forget the money. Hard for you chop me when me did just dead. I got through it.
and speaking about chopping, right? It seemed like the lifespan of a chopper is very short and very
Well, them not live long?
No. Right?
The one them were dead quick and not really chopper.
All right then.
I'm educated about chopping.
All right, go ahead.
You see man them say them a chop. Them not do it. The chopper them super intelligent. Them not up on the corner sit down. Whether you believe it or not, a lot of the chopper them are extremely educated. Whether it be university education, CXC education, but the chopper them not done. Now, the thing is, sometimes them teach like the younger one them what to do. But the notion that, yo, the chopper them a gunman or them a banging line or the one them where you see a drop out or this and that, they're uneducated and misinformed. So it's a big, it's a big wave where the ones where you actually see that are out there. And because if you realize with chopping music, them only sing about like there are a lot of methods of scamming where them sing about in the song them, but you can tell say the one them where I sing about it, them don't know what them just are mentioned. Oh yeah, I call you, trick you, blah blah blah. Is everybody singing the same thing? Me sure that method of chopping there right now, America catch up on that right now. Them can recognize your voice, them can come pick you up anytime. So there have to be other ways of chopping right now. But the man them just sing because them know say this I gonna be the wave and this I go boss way. Them no, me no believe. Nah, me no believe. Me see artists where was fully conscious artists. Just turn chopper. Sing say them a chopper. It's just a wave. Them don't know nothing them don't know about nothing. Me not believe that. Because there's no way you're going to incriminate yourself like that every day. But me like the music still, it's bad. And not just music. Music are fun. Yeah. Me believe say a man can sing about anything he want. Because it sounds good. Me can, the way I know not chopping now go on, me can go write a chopper song right now. The amount of information we have on chopping. So imagine an actual FBI agent. How much them would I know? Okay, sir, so you draw down $100 million. Noted. Alright, then I'm listening to the one saying, alright. So we do it like Deskit Wayne Nigeria. Okay, so you use Voodoo. Or you look up to Deskit Wayne. Okay. So it all of them. The chopping thing is just a vibe. The dance thing is just a vibe. It's just a period in a dancehall music right now that is a trend and a wave. And I commend them.
I want to go back to what you said. You said music is just music in regards to the person singing the music is not doing it. You're not talking about the influence of music, right?
No. Anybody where
You're just saying that the people singing the song not necessarily doing it.
most of the time.
All right, then.
Most of the time. But the thing, music, people sing about them experiences and people sing about them environment, just like comedy. So if them not have nothing to talk about, them have to find something around them. Or Jamaica work off of trends. Jamaica will have a time when them just a bust mad people. Like for the next 5 months, if you're not mad, or if you're not do something outlandish, we not gonna give you a platform for that 5 months. Yeah. Remember Jamaica boss Gully Bop. Jamaica boss get to Michael Jackson. We have L.A. Lewis as an artist. We never hear him sing a song yet. Rate him though. Queenie. Jamaica will just bust you. Jamaica, I mean like that. I love that. But when you get the bus, where you gonna do with it? Or how you go? But if you have too much sense, you're not gonna get that. you will not get that. You will sing conscious music all day and nothing will come out of it. No matter what you do. So my conscious, the Yakster, that's a conscious song. And that's probably the only conscious song with boss. Valiant say too. Valiant say, yo, him chopper song them go good. But him did have conscious music we never go nowhere. You have people who bash Skilly Bang. Say, yo, why am I sing them song now? Wap wap, chop chop. Bem, because people are saying, yo, free music, no make no sense. But, America, me there hear no artist music like Skilly Bang right now. Me can there now, me there Hollywood in one party with Kevin Hart, and I see Kevin Hart a bus blank to scope from a Glock. Yeah. And me there Coachella, Skilly Bang has a song where I say, them boy, wicked, dark and timid, and mash pit. And people that say them songs don't make no sense because Jamaica, them prioritize the lyrics. When people just want to hear, people just want to have a vibe and a sound. Like me amongst like big American producer and they say, yo, I want to work with that guy. He said this thing. He said wap wap. That's crazy. But the man at Jamaica just want and put words together and oh yeah, astrophysicist, physicist. That me not have time to listen to that. Me just want to rock and move. Me can't bother with it. Me have to fully like listen to what you said too much. Can't bother with that. Me not tell no lie. Me can't rock to it left and right. Me not have time to listen to it. Not help me.
Social media receives a lot of criticism for its negative impact on youth, adults, and relationships. Do you believe social media has impacted your generation's ability to communicate with each other?
Negatively and positively. Because I can say social media can help a relationship, but it can kill it. The negative aspect, the positive aspect of things is like, you can see somebody do something thoughtful. And relationship wise, I say, yo, I want to do that for my girlfriend. Or you see like an idea, like a date or something, I say, yo, we can actually like plan that. So that are like the positives. But then it will impact the social media will raise up how fast you really live. So for instance, it will give off an illusion like say, yo, you have it. Or because information no like fact not every information factual, you cannot see somebody do a bag of things where them cannot rent, them cannot just do it for the video, and then it will put the perception, it will give off an image to the girl like say every man can do that. And every man can rent a jet. And every man can carry a girl a Bali. And every man can just get up and just go.
So you think that's kind of the reason for this unrealistic expectation
But it's unrealistic expectation from both sides. I know the woman them alone have the unrealistic. I still believe the woman them have a more unrealistic expectation. And I feel like social media affect women more
than men?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
I feel like it all depends on the algorithm where you watch. Me do social media, I know about social media. And where you feed yourself at daytime gonna be a reality. So man them, if you're out there, or woman, you ask certain things, click not interested. Go up on the top, search not interested. Because so the algorithm are gonna send you things. If you keep on a watch, big body naked girl, all you gonna see for your page, a big body naked girl. Filter out the people them where you want to listen to. You go always. So for instance, if you want a house, you talk about house 2 times, you gotta realize you have to be a house by your phone screen. Every reel, every YouTuber does house. Positive thoughts that can all you see a big nice house. You start look upon watch, you see nice watch, nice car. You start look upon, you have a relationship, you start talk about relationship only. All of the good things them about relationship are gonna pop up. All of the bad things them about relationship are gonna pop up. So you have to filter what you see at daytime, and then that can translate to your reality. Because me watch whole heap of like well-spoken, hard-working man. Me watch whole heap of finance. Me watch whole heap of things for economy, how to get better. Me watch whole heap of things that motivate me. So when me I sip on my phone every day, I don't necessarily where somebody else I sip on for them phone. But that's why I say it will influence men more, because some men are driven to as a man, you are driven by what you see, and woman driven by what them hear. So a lot of women them go up on the internet and whole heap of woman do them body. Well, if a man do nice things, they must say, okay, in order to get this money, I mean, if you do a post that picture here, I turn sideways and charge somebody $5.99 and a man go pay it. So it's like, woman, I look for other woman and say, yo, how my boyfriend can do this for me? Why my body not look like that? She wear that dress there and she look good. Me I go wear that same dress there. As where man concerned, a man will still put on a white shirt and come out of yard. Him even business where him look pan. So and a woman buying power. It exponentially, like, men contribute more to the economy financially than women, but women spend more than men. So it make them even bigger consumers. So the internet will make a girl buy something she don't want. Or it will make a girl buy something because she see another girl in it. And that is when the unrealistic expectations come out, where the woman expect the man to just do everything. Because me never see no content where no woman are clean, where me never see no content where it's like, this is how you clean the house for your man. This is how you do for your man. Like, that not really dead it. So if you really look into it, only thing me hate say I like the podcast them where like the man them the full like all them talk about a relationship. Now that can be a topic, but you have to be mindful of what you are letting in your life at daytime, because it can be poison. Because when you are gonna compare other people relationship to yours, when that's not your reality. So you will see people rush go try married. Some people end up left because you watch it and just say, oh yeah, if he can't do this is not the right one for you. She don't know nothing about you and the man. So it mash up people's relationship. But positively, me see social media me see algorithm and me see like a couple just buy a house together. And me I look upon it and I say, yeah. So me want to buy a house with my woman.
I think with social media, as you said, once you customize the algorithm, it could be very beneficial.
Super.
But the problem is a lot of people haven't customized theirs because they look at craziness all day and they're bombarded. And like
craziness.
Not only does it give them a unrealistic perspective about life, but it gives them an unrealistic perspective about themselves. And the reason I say that is this: the person who may be doing, we don't know if they're doing something or not. We just know they present themselves.
Yeah.
But if they are doing something, as we spoke about earlier, they're very consistent. They put a lot of time into that.
Yeah.
The person watching it is an undisciplined person who hasn't put time into anything.
Yeah.
So now they're thinking that they can achieve this with the practices that they have, and that's where the disillusion comes into play.
Yeah, because like me's a social media personality. You would expect me to dip on social media every day. And honestly, when we make a video, I'm gone.
But I think that's the norm for everyone because I'm not on.
You know, use social media like that, but you have a big platform.
Time, you know, because I post and cut. Only thing I will do sometimes though is I do look for other people like on certain topics.
Mm-hmm.
I do find like guests for that, and the message part, responding to people. But outside of that, like in regards to scrolling and looking at stuff, it's not there. People feel away too. I see that too. They kind of feel away because you're not interacting with their thing.
Yeah.
But they don't understand I'm not on social media.
So I have to be on social media.
But you gotta, for what you do, you gotta have a little response
Yeah,
too.
you have to respond. But the thing is, over the years, me study it. So like for me, I have to constantly think how me I gonna grow. And in order to do that, you have to study the platforms them. Study the platform where you depend. Like right now, me I try to study my YouTube platform. Subscribe to my YouTube, please. Dale Elliott TV. I need those subscriptions. Watch my video them too. But we have to study YouTube. Study algorithm, you know, what work, what not work. Just like my Instagram. Study my Instagram. What people like. Or people like my parent videos, them do that. Mix it with something else. Don't try to get typecasted in a one thing. TikTok, all of them. You have to be proficient on all social media platforms. But will I make that consume my life? No. Because at the end of the day, me have to exercise, me have to eat right, me have a life. And the thing is, psychological, if people no see ya do nothing, they're not gonna believe you nah do nothing. So like me travel, I go have to make social media say, yo, oh, Dale do an interview. Dale there Jersey. Dale just there Atlanta yesterday I do a stand-up show. Now I'm there Jersey I do an interview. Now I'm gone back at LA. And then so when I constantly I do something, I have to make social media say, yo, me I work. Because if you don't, you're not gonna be respected. You're gonna just be that one youth there where you make them laugh 1 and 2 times, and when them see you just regular. But social media are the best worst thing happened to my generation. I feel like the generation before me worse. Cause them after me.
With social, their relationship with social, cause they on Facebook hard and WhatsApp far.
No man, the generation after me would have been Gen Z.
Oh, you mean after you? I mean
Gen Z.
Yeah. But they grew up with it fully.
Yeah, Gen Z grew up with the phone in them hand, the iPad in them hand. Me could have get at least me the go outside go cut my foot, and social media never become like a real thing till me like 12, 13. So me did actually have a life. Me think Pitney them were born after like 2001.
Bad, man.
Me don't know what, yo, like them whole life fully consumed by social media.
But that's why I asked you the question about communication, because what I learned with this, first of all, these teenagers having less sex than previous generations.
Really?
Yeah. Like the songs may be sexy and everything, but in regards to actual intercourse,
yeah,
they're having less sex. But if you think about it, it makes sense. They don't interact talking.
Yeah, them to beer interaction.
They interact through the phone.
So, I mean, I be a masturbation. I take care. Oh, right, God. Them boy, I beat them. Oh, God. Them man, I beat them. Me, the woman, them a DJ at daytime. Oh, porn, God.
You know, like, so it's just that whole culture there is just like, that's taking away I have a joke I used to tell the kids, right? It's like, how many times have you responded laugh out loud when it wasn't funny? And a lot of people laugh and they say yes, but here's the problem. The person that said the joke doesn't understand that they're not funny. If they were in person, they would understand that they're not funny. They would say joke in front of people and no one would laugh, and they say, all right, then I got to come better.
Yeah.
But now, you get what I'm saying?
But no, them just right. Hello, I said, that's supposed to be funny. So
you're not developing social skills and like talking, eye contact. You know, some people I interview, they just looking all over the place, and it's just a basic skill they haven't developed because they're not used to talking to people. They're not used to talking to an actual human being. And that's like one of my biggest concerns with social media.
That, yeah.
But go look it up. This generation is having less. I know the music crazy still, right?
But that generation, you have less sex. They might interact with people less. But I can tell you, the social media, I think the impact more positive. The impact more positive than negative. It just, me think it affect woman more though. I really think it, but it make man work harder. Me can tell you that because social media make me see some yacht and private jet.
I want to be clear.
I mean, I say, yo.
I think it make you work harder.
I say, I need that.
No, it make you work harder. I think it's more negative than positive, you know?
More negative?
Yeah, because what I notice is that, like, for progressive people, they tend to project their experience on other people. So, like, even the fact that you said, like, you kind of structure your algorithm in a certain way that is beneficial.
Yeah.
The average person is just straight foolishness far right is sports, naked women or whatever.
Mine are sports.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, but the average person, man, it's like because they have the video games and the social media and the porn.
Me have the video game, the social media, and the porn too.
You get what I'm saying? But even so, I'm pretty sure you balance it out. I'm pretty sure you're not playing video games 24/7.
No.
All right.
But I have my times when I play my game, watch my porn, whatever the hell I want to do. But I tell you, the social media like the are the best. Brother, we live in our society right now. You don't have to work, you know. This is your work, you know.
We working, but we not working like that.
Yeah, we are work, but
work.
Yeah, we are the different kind of work. But I probably because we realize the magnitude of it. When you start realize how impactful it is when the response where you're going to get. When people are going to say, yo, I never know, say, I saw that UST or wherever, and then you can monetize the influence. Yo, buy me shirt, Bad Pitney, tour coming. US stand-up tour coming September to October. Subscribe to my YouTube. When you understand the power of social media and when you filter while going in your life at daytime, that's like the reason why I say it really affect women more. How much man sit down and watch Real Housewives of Atlanta or Kardashians or women will watch and then it's like what them I watch are coming at their life. Yeah. So overall, just filter your social media to be positive and your whole life will go positive. I tell you. And one of the greatest things with social media right now is you don't want to see somebody, you don't want them have no influence if you know other way, unfollow them. It's amazing what unfollow can do. You just right now, if you unfollow somebody of a social media, that worse than delete them number. You unfollow somebody you will never see, hear, or know nothing about the person. You might swear think you and the person was friends, but the moment you don't follow each other on social media, you don't know that person ever. You don't know who that. You never see them again. Unless them are a social media personality where they might pop up back by your algorithm. So you can, I love it. I think I the greatest thing could ever. And you get to advertise your talents. So like, if I know for social media, people would know, say, yo, me can act, or me can stand up, or me can really a message perfect. Like, people don't know that. So, me love social media. It's just the intelligent person, I will use it for the positive. But if you're gullible, or you don't necessarily understand how to use social media. So the regular man out there, if you're dep on social media, filter your social media with positive things. Like me subscribe to I Never Knew TV. What me I gonna get from that? Just reasoning. Me no, you know, subscribe to something where a gossip or that person you have sex with that person you're pregnant for that person, that a gossip. You invite them thing there in your life. Me watch Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, Grant Cardone. Me only filter myself with positive, and like me a sports person. So me will subscribe to like Pivotar. So me get positive energy when me I watch things. So you go up on my YouTube, you open my YouTube, I like, oh, this and this watch person, realtor.com, house person, finance, stocks, me watch like Vlad TV. So me filter my information in a way where if my YouTube start go off on a tangent when me sit down and me I watch TV all day, or something where I make me feel like, John or Dale, you know, say, I need to get up and go do something. Because when you sit down and you hear it, I say, oh yes, 2023 is going to be a recession, and this amount of people now are go out of one job. What you going to do? You going to sit down and just go and don't do nothing, or you going to get up and go find something to do? So it's social media good, man. You have to just filter your algorithm to help you. That is why I choose to go up on that platform here. Because people reach out to me to go up on them platform. But what view how do I want somebody to view me? What kind of questions more people ask me? Do I want it to be do I want to just sit down and talk about mix up every day? Or I want a balance? So you have to be selective on things where you do. So just like how you filter your social media, you filter people in your life.